you want to drop the bomb and just, stop hinting around what we're talking about? Because I feel like
let's walk through it, because
the safety net kept you alive recently.
A safety net. You guys kept me alive that night. Now, here's what happened. So we're walking back from the great night we had, and we're regaling tales of events and all those things.
Yeah, and like we said, we had to go down a couple blocks.
Yeah, we had about another, according to you, we had about another 40-minute walk ahead of us.
Yeah, we were about 15 minutes into it when we got to the sausage place.
Well, I wanted to hit 2 food trucks on the way back, because it was important to me to hit 2 food trucks on the way back, because I wanted to get, there was a bratwurst stand and there was an angry egg roll stand. Both of them sounded delicious. I haven't been to 6th Street in a decade. I probably won't be back for a decade. I don't know. So I had to fucking get my food truck on. And so we stopped to get the bratwurst. I get the bratwurst, and we are literally, 10 yards away after I get it? 20 yards?
Okay,
how far?
So to spell it out to everybody, 6th Street is a road. There's bars and shit on both sides. And it's a 4-lane road?
No, it's just 2.
2-lane road, but they shut down.
It's like a downtown street.
Yeah. So they shut down the entire road. So people are walking in the middle of the street and everything. Now, so there's big sidewalks on both sides. So the bratwurst place is directly across the street from where a shooting took place. Now, not even 15 minutes, like a minute prior, we were walking away from the bratwurst place, and we had walked down to the, I guess, east side, I want to say, of the street. Like, we were at the other end of the same block.
I have a brat in my hand, and I hear
pop, 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 pop.
And I look around, and everyone starts fucking running like a bunch of goddamn geese. What? They're running like fucking crazy.
Right.
And I'm looking around with the brat in my hand, and I'm thinking, dude, some fucking asshole just threw some goddamn firecrackers to be a shithead, and everybody's being a bunch of fucking, dandies is what they're being.
Yeah. Now, me being from, I'm a country boy. I've been around guns. The instant I heard pop, 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 or whatever it was, I was like, that's a gun. So and I've been telling people this story. My first instinct wasn't to duck or run. It was to turn around and find you. Because it was like, where is the child? Grab the child. But the thing is, the way I turned, I caught Dr. Grant's eyes, and we both kind of gave each other that look, like, this is real.
You guys knew shit was going down.
We both
there was heavy shit.
We both turned to you, and your back is to us, because I was in the front. Dr. Grant was probably behind you, I guess.
Well, I wanted to prove to all these fucking idiots around me it was just my instinct really was to go find the firecrackers and tell everybody to calm the fuck down. And my other thought was, don't drop the brat, because I just spent $8 on this fucking thing.
So me and Dr. Grant catch eyes, and then we turn to you, and your back is towards us. I swear you were dancing or walking towards it or whatever. You were.
I think I was just looking around for it.
You were definitely looking towards it. It was like big noise, and you turned around.
Yeah, I faced the noise. I did do that. Because I was trying to figure out where the firecrackers were.
I just remember grabbing you, and luckily we were at the other end of the block, so catty corner blocks. And me, Dr. Grant, just grabbed you, took off towards the alleyway, and then we ran down the alley, or not ran, but we walked really nonchalantly down the alleyway, just having a conversation. It was like, okay, we're in the alley. Whoa, that was crazy.
I do know, that feeling, what you're talking about is weird, that feeling, because we ran into the alley, and then the minute everyone got into the alley, it was like this weird sense of elation, we're out of the danger zone.
That was crazy. Yeah. 2 things about the alley, by the way. A, I've never seen so many fucking people pissing in an alley. Walking down that 1 block alley, 2 block alley we did before we turned up towards the hotel, I probably saw 10 people pissing in the alley.
Oh, wow.
And this is directly after a shooting. I heard it. They heard it. There's no way they didn't hear pop, 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 something. Yeah. But they're pissing in the alley. So we're walking down the alley. I'm amazed by all the people pissing there. Then, luckily, fucking Dr. Grant grabs me by the collar and yanks me out of the way. But here comes a fucking, state trooper police car Suburban thing, bahaing down the alley to where we just came from. But I almost got ran over by a cop car because I was looking at all the people pissing in the alley.
Yeah. It was fucking weird, man, because like the weird thing about it is we made it back to the hotel.
I don't want to leave the subject, though. I got one more thing to say before we leave the subject.
Yeah, well, there's another thing, but go ahead.
I just want to, before we move on to what happened after the alley, I want to say is we were part of a mass shooting. This is going down statistically as a mass shooting. This man shot one woman in the head and 3 other people in like the belly, the hip, and like the ankle. Mm-hmm. This is going down as a mass shooting. We were like we were on the same block.
No, we could have been hit by a stray bullet, no problem. Anybody near us could have. Because I'm
not trying to make light of it. No, it's not making light of it, but we were probably, no shit, like 20, 30 yards away from where this happened. Yeah, we were involved in a shooting.
Close. And so we fucking got into the alley, and then we get back to the hotel, and when we get back to the hotel, you find out there was another shooting, right?
So everybody goes, like, we get back to the hotel, y'all go inside, and you're like, fuck tonight, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a smoke. So I'm out there having a smoke, and there's cops everywhere, and cop cars, and there's helicopters, and like there's a couple of people talking in the little garden area. And it turns out the parking lot across from our hotel also had a shooter that happened at the same time. And the police scanners and the talk was that it was a active shooter situation where it was a targeted thing. It turns out it was just 2 random shootings that happened at the same time. But like right across from the hotel. So I'm outside having a cigarette with this guy, and he's telling me about how like Chicago's bad, and I kind of work there and I can relate. So we're having this conversation, this mundane chit chat. And then he's like, somebody shot somebody in this building next door and they're looking for him. And that's about the same time I look up and there's cops on like every floor with flashlights. You can just see their flashlights moving around looking like they're looking for something. And I was like, okay, dude, I threw my cigarette away. I was done. And like, I'm going inside. Fuck this shit. I walk inside. There's like 6 cops inside. And I talked to like the night guard person who's kind of been there. I was like, hey, what's going on? I heard something about a shooting. And they're like, nothing to see here. Move along. Move along. Nothing happened. Move along. And I was like, all right. Well, everybody outside is talking about a shooting. So you might want to look into it. And I walked away. It's kind of a smart ass.
I don't want to get into it because when you came up, you and me got in a giant fucking fight. But I will say this: the reason I'm going to tell you the reason my emotions were charged is I was in the hotel. It took me from the time the shooting happened to the time we actually were in the hotel room
to realize
you
were in like shock.
I went insane because I couldn't believe that it had happened. And like at first it was I really did go through fucking denial. First it was like firecrackers. This shit didn't happen. And then after the denial, then when everybody you're listening to the goddamn police scanner, someone got shot, someone got killed.
Well, no,
it's a fucking shocking because I am I know you're not a rube. You've been around before. You've seen shit. I'm a rube, dude. I'm fucking the guy from Green Acres.
Well, I could tell.
That freaked me the fuck out.
Well, like me and Grant, Dr. Grant, or whatever, looked at each other. And we knew what was going on. We grabbed you and went down the alley. And me, like, if you kind of recall the conversation we were having, like, you were kind of making jokes of it, and it was this and that. And I was like, no, dude, that was gunshots. Somebody just got shot. Let's get the fuck out of here. And you're like, dude, it was nothing. No, I
definitely was making jokes. I was trying to make jokes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I could tell that you hadn't absorbed what just had happened. Like, I think it hit me and Dr. Grant, and you thought it was still a big story, a joke. Up until, like you said, when we got to the hotel, it was like a safe space. We knew we were home. That's when you kind of let loose and like, holy shit, this just happened to me. And
when
you
I realized when I had the police scanner and when I heard what had happened, when you came back up and told about the other thing, and then we heard the people crying in the hotel room next to us.
Our next door neighbors at the hotel apparently were like involved in the shooting. They were there. They were like standing next to it. Yeah, they got interviewed by the cops. They were so close.
When all that happened. Fuck, I'm getting goosebumps now. When all that happened,
dude, this still raises a tingle in my.
Well, it was so real to me that even my stupid little country mind when like, holy fuck, man. I mean, somebody shot somebody and it fucking bothered me. And I took it out on you and we had a giant fight.
It wasn't a giant fight.
It was like,
it was you having a panic attack, me telling you to shut the fuck up and like, this is real, sit down.
Yeah,
we can talk about it, but stop
I was like
screaming.
Literally throwing shit across the goddamn
That's what I was telling you to stop to do. You were having a panic attack. You were freaking out. I wasn't angry. It was like, shut up. You're not going to do this. Sit down. Let's talk. But we're not going to rabble rouse and scream and throw things. Fucking sit down and shut up. Let's talk about this or go to bed.
It was like, that was like an emotional, like it was a horrible, like I have the worst emotional reactions at things because I'm like a 6-year-old who doesn't understand the world.
I saw you in full panic mode. I just
couldn't believe what had happened. And even now thinking about it, like it is crazy to realize it happens.
In between the hotel and the shooting, like 6th Street and the hotel, while we were going to the second shooting, you witnessed like a molestation at the taco stand.
Well, a guy accosted a girl and it bothered me also. Yeah.
Yes. Now that wasn't nearly as extreme, but it almost broke out into a fight and it was very inappropriate. But it did happen. It did happen.
Everything about it, because then a fight almost broke out in the line over a waiting, and like everything felt chaotic. It was like we had this giant, great moment of victory with Vince Valouf and peace and harmony. It was so weird.
The world came tumbling down around you.
Pure chaos for about 30 minutes on the way home. Pure chaos. And you realize like, is fucking like you had these great, beautiful moments with people, like with Vince and this Gabriel guy, these great moments.
Yeah.
Where you feel like everybody's connected. We're all different, but we're all the same. And you feel really connected in the human spirit level with people.
Austin is a great place for that. Like Austin is so open-minded. You can relate and like share ideas and grow ideas. And, like you felt like you were a part of a movement. We created a movement with Vince Valouf that night because he was so inspiring. He had nothing but good things.
There was a fucking positive vibes energy, man. Pure positive vibes.
And then we were part of a shooting. And then a second shooting. It was a lot to take in.
It felt like it felt like we had chaotic, like flip side of coin. Here on the one side, we have chaotic good, which is like bohemian fucking whatever, you know, like all this crazy, like everything's cool, man. Everybody's cool. Let's fucking love each other.
Yeah.
And then you flip the coin to chaotic evil. And it's just fucking.
It's the Joker. It was
such a,
running around burning buildings.
So goddamn drastic, dude. It fucked me up because that's where you realize like the world is and not to be overly dark, but a lot of times I'll look at it and I go, the world's a sick, dark place, man.
No. What you have to do is balance it. The world is a real place. Real things happen. Fucking, it's not all Disney movies and dandelions. Real shit happens. And you can be part of real shit at any given moment. So just always be, you don't have to let it rule your life, but always be ready for real shit.